Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys? What are you, wagon school, you kids?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Do you guys interested in riding motorcycles?
Yeah.
Do you know it's Motorcycle Awareness Week starting today? So a big rave for that? Yeah. All right. Welcome along to the lunchtime crowd. Welcome along to Motorcycle Awareness Week. My name is Brendan Jones. I'm the Jonesy part of Jonesy and Amanda at WSFM. You kids would be listening to that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. It's nice to be here. I'm also a motorcycle tragic, being that I don't drive a car. I first fell in love with motorcycles when I got hit by one when I was 5 years of age. It was a BMW, and I haven't quite got past BMWs, but still, bikes are my passion, and I love them. And I love a bike in Sydney is a great thing because you can get through traffic, and it's great to celebrate Motorcycle Awareness Week and actually talk about the positive aspects of motorcycling. And someone who I'm going to introduce to you right now is from the Motorcycle Council of New South Wales. Give it up for Chris Burns.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Christopher Burns. I'm a person of no importance whatsoever. The group of people I represent, though, are incredibly important. They're the Motorcycle Riders of New South Wales. The Motorcycle Council of New South Wales is an association of clubs. We represent 50 clubs, 26,000 riders. Oh, that's better. You can hear me now. I'll speak more into the mic. I'm the chairman of the Motorcycle Council of New South Wales. We represent 50 clubs, 26,000 riders. There's one statistic that's pretty sad within Sydney CBD and New South Wales. Multi-vehicle crashes involving a motorcycle and a car. In 70% of cases, it's the car driver that's attributed to being at fault. This needs to stop. This is why Motorcycle Awareness Week is run as an initiative by the Motorcycle Council of New South Wales. Get car drivers to look over their shoulder. No looking in your mirrors when you're driving along. Look over your shoulder like that. Look in the blind spots. Look twice for bikes. You turn your head once, you turn your head twice, then you see the bike coming at you. It looms at you. They appear to come very fast, but they've got a headlight on. There's no excuse for not paying attention, because the person you injure might be my girlfriend, it might be someone's mother, it might be someone's grandmother, it could be your dentist, it could be your lawyer, it could be anybody. What it boils down to is pay attention, don't hurt anyone. Look in your blind spots. You're out four-wheel driving, you're out in the bush, slow down around the blind corners. Watch out for bikes. I'm sick of hearing about people getting hurt needlessly. Motorcycle riders in New South Wales are incredibly good risk managers. We are the most important people to ourselves, and we know that when we get hit by a car, we always come off second best. So we ride to the conditions, we ride well, we keep our eyes peeled. What we need is car drivers to do exactly the same thing in return. Now, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Brendan Jones, by the way, from 2WSFM, awarded 2WSFM. Yeah, that's what I said, 2WSFM. 2WS. He received an ACRA on the weekend for Best On-Air Team, I believe. Congratulations. It's the equivalent of the Radio Logies. Mr. Jones has been an incredibly good ambassador for the Motorcycle Council over the past few years. He's also been involved with Greg Hurst in a TV show called Temporary Australians, which highlights motorcycle riding in Australia, what we do, what we get up to, the lifestyle we lead. We come from many and varied backgrounds. Greg's been an advocate for motorcycle riders for years. He's a committed Christian. Jonesy, you know, he's a radio personality. We've got engineering project managers, we've got IT project managers, we've got media people, all ride motorbikes. Police officers that ride motorbikes, just look out for us, don't hurt us, look twice for bikes, look over your shoulders.
Well said, Chris. Well said. Okay, so next we're going to introduce you from the St John's First Aid. We've got our St John's First Aid demo, and we've got Eddie Fernell here. Eddie, you grab this one.
Thank you, Brendan.
What we have here is an accident. Someone's killed the steer.
That's it, mate. That's it.
And so this young lady's come off a bike.
Yes.
And what's the first thing we do?
Okay, mate. The first thing we need to look at here is people who arrive at the scene. Yes, it's important to help our rider, but it's also very, very important we look after ourselves first. The thing is, with a motorcycle that's down, we need to look at the danger of the bike. Is the bike on its side? Is it leaking fuel? Is it a danger to us? We need to make that area safe first. Then, the other thing, most accidents happen on a corner. Therefore, we need to make sure that someone goes around the corner and stops the oncoming traffic and makes the area safe so that the people who are treating the person are also safe. So we've done that. Now the first aid team have arrived and we'll let them come in and start treating and doing what they're doing. So the first thing they're going to do is to ascertain whether the patient is conscious or not and as if they're breathing by. Come on guys, away you go.
So Eddie, before the first aid get here, I'm just a guy that has no idea. What do I do? Do I try and grab a helmet or do I...
Okay, let's get that right. Leave the helmet where it is for this stage, okay? I must stress here that the only time we're going to remove a helmet is if the rider is unconscious, has an occluded airway and needs resuscitation and it's a full face helmet. Otherwise, leave the helmets alone, guys. Leave them on.
And so she's just cried out in pain when we're grabbed onto the leg.
So we're going to cut the leathers. I know, guys, we're going to cut the leathers because we need to expose the wounds so that we can treat the wounds. And the thing is,
there's a bit of blood there.
There we go. How's that, guys? And that's what can be hiding underneath leathers. So that's why we need to expose the wounds so that the first aiders can actually get in to treat the wounds.
See, look at you guys. You got out of school for this. Isn't this great?
Protective clothing is great, and you're going to get a demonstration shortly on protective clothing, and they will minimise the effects and injuries, but we still need to expose wounds. That's why we are going to cut them. But we treat our first aiders and train them to cut up the seams, guys, so you can get them re-sewn back.
And so when someone goes down, and obviously you've run Triple O, what sort of information do you give on what are some of the questions that they might ask you?
Basically, they're going to ask the location, right? How many people are involved? What's actually happened to the person, what's going on, and they're also there to give advice over the phone as to what to do. Now, if we had another bystander over here, excuse me, sir, could you come and help us? Could you get down and hold this lady's head for me, please?
This is Ian St. Bystander, everyone. Big round of applause for Ian.
Now, the reason we want to support the head and neck is that we might have a spinal injury, so it's really good to have someone hold the head. The other thing, of course, they can be doing is talking to the person and reassuring them.
Some reassuring words, Ian. Some reassuring words. These are not the droids you're looking for. Carry on about your business.
Okay, so we're going to get a pad onto that and hold that one. Now it's really, really important that after we've treated obvious wounds that we've found here, because the lady was complaining about pain in the leg, you'll find that the first aiders in a moment are going to do a head-to-toe examination to look for hidden wounds. And they're the ones that really can be a problem, the hidden wounds on a patient. All right?
And we're back to the helmet thing.
Yep.
So a lot of people would naturally want to remove the helmet.
Yep.
What if the rider is actually saying, take my helmet off, take my helmet off? What do you do then?
Basically, we discourage them from taking the helmet off until we've done a full examination to see what's going on. In most cases, you'll find that riders, adrenaline and so forth, they're more worried about their bike. They want to get up and have a look at their bike and see what's going on. We really need to discourage that until we find out what's going on. Obviously, the person in this room, they've lost a lot of blood, they've been shocked, there's other things happening. The helmet, though, is protecting them. It's stopping their head from hitting the ground. Most helmets today have a built-in cervical collar which is supporting the neck. So let's leave the helmet alone unless we really, really need to take it off.
So the next stage, they wrap up the wound and they ascertain what happened, what other wounds.
They're talking to this sort of thing. They'll use one of the bystanders at the early stage also to ring for the ambulance, as we mentioned before, and they'll be actually hoping the ambulance is going to turn up very, very shortly. Guys, we'll move on and just do a secondary assessment now. And so now they're doing what they call a secondary assessment, and they're looking for hidden injuries. Now, the lady didn't know she had a sore arm until it was actually touched because the main pain was down the leg. So now we've found that there's another injury going on, so they're going to cut that away and see what's happening up on the arm.
Oh, there's another injury. here's me not having lunch.
Good for the lunchtime crowd.
Yeah, I'll have a rare steak, please.
Medium or well done.
Rare.
And so that's quite possible, though, isn't it? They might not be aware of it because they might have an injury that they've seen. They might have seen blood or something, and they focus on that. So here's another injury that they're not aware of. So it's more important than anything to keep them still and not flailing about.
He's exactly right.
And that's where someone like Ian, some bystander, comes in and gives them the reassurance.
Reassurance support. They're talking to them, and the other thing is too, if they're talking to the bystander holding the head and so forth, they're conscious and they're breathing, which is probably the most important thing we need to do until the ambulance turns up. The other thing, of course, is having the right gear. So a first aid kit. Now, guys, today, and this is a bit of an advertisement, but up in our stand up there, we actually have a first aid kit which is small enough to sit in panniers and so forth, and for today only we've reduced it to half price. So you get a first aid kit for $20 up there to fit in your panniers. And the other thing is, come along and do the St John Ambulance Motorcyclist First Aid course. It's a course designed specifically so you can deal with these type of injuries and how to deal with a patient. Again, the information's up on the stand.
So we're almost wrapped up, literally and figuratively. So ambulance has obviously been called and it'll be on its way.
So now that stabilise a patient, they now keep them warm by putting a shock blanket on them and keep reassuring the patient, checking their wounds to make sure they haven't started to re-bleed, and then when the ambulance turn over, the ambulance guys will then take over, put a collar on, put them on a stretcher and take them away to care.
Excellent. Well, thank you. That was very informative. Please give it up for the guys from St John's Ambulance and, of course, our volunteers today.
On behalf of St John, thanks very, very much.
And our makeup artists as well. They're not real wounds, by the way. Or are they?
No. Thanks, Jonesy. Thank you, Motorcyclists.
Thank you. Big round of applause. Up again. It's a miracle. She's healed.
Walk on that leg, amazing.
Our next guest is... we've got the Roads Minister with us, Duncan Gay, as well as my voice.